Yo, bros, and welcome, nation. I am Zach. This is JD. We are, as most times, we are joined with the
bearded one.
The bearded one. I guess that's his new nickname from JD. Jake Capone.
He's had that name.
Welcome back once again. So. WWE Evolution has happened, and boy, oh boy, do I have things to say. But first, before we get to that, everyone who came in during our live stream, all 220 plus of you, thank you very, very much. We really appreciate it. All the comments. For those of you who kept asking us to show you the screen, it's $10 for the network, guys. Seriously, and you get your first month for free.
We can't really do that. We don't have permission.
Yeah, that's copyright strike. I want to keep my channel. So that
we don't want to be sued, especially by.
You won't get sued. You just will be demonetized.
We could be.
So
wait, we make money.
On.
What?
Twitter's blowing up still.
Yes, Jake. He's on.
Of course.
Oh. Okay. So first thing I need to do for Jake, because we can't hear him all that well. Let's see.
Jake, turn yours up.
No, I got to do it from my end. See?
Ow.
I got to do it from my end. Ah! Shut off. Anyways, okay, so we're live. This is your official WWE Evolution review. Okay. I told you I wasn't going to talk about it. Someone get it quick, done, out of the way. I'm not going to talk about it.
Technical difficulties here.
I don't know what's happening. Anywho.
Make it a little easier for you to hear me. Is that better?
Yeah, I can hear you a lot better. So the main event was Ronda Rousey and Nikki Bella. Now, he may feel different than me. He may feel different than me. Me should not have main evented this pay-per-view. Nope. At all. No. First off, this match went way longer than it needed to. Ronda should have squashed her in about 5 fucking seconds. And of course, I knew Brie was going to be there. I knew Brie was going to interfere. There was no doubt about that was going to be the case. So as far as I'm concerned...
And the ref was overlooking it.
Now, does this match take away from the entirety of the pay-per-view? No. But I mean, we knew this was going to main event, but still, it's kind of like... why? So, I'm not going to speak on it no more because I cussed enough about it during the live stream. Oh gosh, that was bad. I knew it was going to be the case. I don't know why I acted so shocked. But, whether he likes it or not, the main event should have been Charlotte and Becky. Because, I'm curious. What should have main evented then? I'm curious what you think. I might agree with you. No.
I mean, honestly, in my opinion, the main event should have been Shayna and Kyrie.
You know, I wouldn't argue with that either. But you know that would never happen in a million years. Not on a main roster pay-per-view. What is we're talking and JD's playing with his phone looking at filters.
Kissing Bandit.
That's what he's looking for. He's looking for his newest mask.
No.
Golly. Okay, so yeah, I didn't like the main event. I know JD didn't like the main event. What I did like, the biggest thing I liked out of this, aside from the matches, was the aesthetics of the show. The way the cameras were, the way the ring was set up. It looked like an NXT TakeOver type show. And I think I liked that more than if it had been with the big entranceway and everything.
One of the other things I liked about it was the fact that they kind of went old school with the dimming of the lights in the arena, so it put more focus on the ring itself. So that was pretty cool.
Now, whether or not that had to do with the fact that they didn't have as many people there, or just because that was their plan to begin with, I don't know.
No, they showed the crowd, and there was actually...
So they did get everyone there?
Yeah, there was a pretty decent crowd.
Yeah, because I wasn't able to see it. I didn't see the entirety of the thing. I know when I turned on the TV, they were basically gobbling the cock of Nikki Bella at the time I turned on the TV. So JD, your initial thoughts on the show, not anything specific, just your initial thoughts on the show, and I guess how you felt about the main event. He's yawning.
That's all I got.
That's all he's got. He didn't pay attention. He slept. That was what he was going to do.
I paid attention. It was boring.
Yep, I won't disagree with you there. So, main events out of the way. I don't know if he wants to bring it back up. If Jake wants to bring it up, we will. But as far as I'm concerned, I'm done talking about the main event for the night. Ronda Rousey won. We knew that would happen. Fair enough. We're all good for the main event? Okay, we're all good. Let's move on to what I think was the biggest shock of the night. Was the fact that they actually let Becky Lynch win her women's championship and keep it. I picked her to win, but I really started to think they were going to throw Charlotte the belt back. JD, though, hated this match for a multitude of reasons, and a few I agree with him with. Allow me to grab my notes.
I do have to say that those kendo stick shots that Becky took were stiff.
Oh, did you see the one she dealt out too?
I missed the one she dealt out, but I am proud of both of them. I'm not a fan of Charlotte's, to say, I'm a big fan of Becky's, but I am proud of both of them for not feigning away from taking the harder bumps in this kind of a match.
They took harder bumps than most of the men have taken in a last man standing in a long while. So, the biggest thing I had an issue with in this match, well, maybe the second biggest issue, was in the promo package, whenever Becky would say something, they dubbed it over with boos. And then when Charlotte would come out, they'd do the whole cheers. That annoys me. Just let whatever the natural reaction was be the natural reaction, even if it's just a promo. I understand. To them, Becky Lynch is the heel of this whole conundrum, and I get that. But you can shake your head all you want, but she's the heel. Doesn't matter what you call the truth. She's the heel.
That's not what I'm...
That's because heels are the best.
Yeah.
No, that's not.
I mean, she told Edge, "Don't break his neck walking out of or getting out of the ring," and people cheered her.
Which was hilarious.
Now JD says, "No, they booed." No, they cheered her. They cheered her, even telling Edge, "Don't break your neck." So, but of course, then they dubbed it with boos, and it was so blatant that that's what they wanted to do. Of course, then as soon as Charlotte comes out, Charlotte's booed out of the building, and then they were singing along with Becky. Something he pointed out, something JD pointed out to me, and I don't know if you picked up on this.
5 times.
He says it's 5 times. I noticed it maybe 2 or 3 times. Oh, look at that. That's so scary.
Don't make another shirt.
Ooh, that's the new one. Sorry, coming up with ideas. So, I can't. Did you notice how many times Charlotte was still on her knees and he'd stop counting? Especially there at the end. Now, he thinks it was the ref messing up intentionally not counting. Again, it's predetermined.
You could see that he wanted to count, but he couldn't.
And as I tried to point out to him, perhaps it was just Charlotte wasn't hitting her spots, wasn't getting up when she was supposed to.
No, he's being told not to.
Well, he's not supposed to count to 10 if she's not supposed to, count to 10 at that point.
And then there was times he wasn't counting at all.
He was really nitpicky in this match. He was super nitpicky.
What about, when she was throwing the chairs and everything on top of her, the fans were counting while he was standing there like...
If you play the game in a last man standing match, as long as you're doing any sort of actions like on your opponent, the count does not start. If she's still piling stuff on top of her, the count's going to keep, it's not going to happen. So you were nitpicking. That's disgusting. I didn't have a huge problem with this match, not until he pointed that out. And that was only at the very end.
I was not nitpicking. I was pointing out facts.
Now, you know how he always gets mad about Charlotte not selling? Then when Charlotte was selling, he got mad.
The match was 4 minutes in, and she was acting like she was wrestling for an hour and a half. That's retarded.
Maybe she was winded.
Shut up, Jake. You're siding with him just because you guys like her.
I don't like
She's horrible.
Charlotte.
She's horrible.
I think Charlotte needs a lot of work. I don't like her work in the ring.
No, she needs to retire. She don't need work. She can't get it done.
Speaking of getting it done, I had a great match against Robert Gibson yesterday. Yeah.
Did you win?
I will plead the fifth on that. However, I will say that it was an awesome match. It was cool getting to work with a WWE legend and
Hall of Famer.
Yes.
Hall of Famer.
Wait a minute. Can you run that name by me again?
Robert Gibson.
As in one half of the Rock and Roll Express.
Okay. All right. I got you now.
Anywho. So, yeah, congratulations on the big match.
It was awesome.
How many does that make now for WWE wrestlers?
More than I can count.
Now if you could just get into the PC.
Right?
I mean, Triple H would book you. Triple H would be like, yeah, we could do something with you.
He's been telling everybody for years he should have been tagged up with that Dino guy and then Bray Wyatt.
Brodus Clay? Damn right, me and Brodus Clay would be awesome together.
He says that they were twins.
I don't know if Brodus Clay's even wrestling. I know he's doing like the Fox whatever thing now.
Yeah, I think he's still doing indies, but he's not doing any of the other ones. Anyway, back to the review.
Yeah. He's
like, get it off
me. The biggest gripe I really have of the night, and we'll get back to the Charlotte match. The biggest gripe I had of the night was their constant push again of Crown Jewel. Pushing a show that does not feature the women at all on a show that's all about the women, and you're still promoting the men. Bugs me. I understand it's your next show and you want to put it out there, but I don't think this was the time nor the place. How do you feel about that, JD? He feels hearts. Lots of hearts. How do you feel about it, Jake?
No, that's Jake's.
I mean, I can understand that that's the next pay-per-view coming up. So, yeah, they are pushing it. It does suck that there are no women on that show. But
again,
at the same point, they have to advertise their next pay-per-view. They always do that no matter what the next pay-per-view is.
Which just happens to be in like 5 days. Not even a full week from now.
So it's like, I can understand them pushing it because, a lot of the fans are going to watch it anyway.
Very true.
But yeah, I mean,
let's see. I actually want to, real quick, while we're on this subject, I'm actually going to pull up our Twitter poll. We set up a Twitter poll stating whether or not people want us to do Crown Jewel. Now, when I looked at it previously, shockingly, a lot of people still wanted us to cover Crown Jewel. So I'm going to check where the poll is at this moment. And as of right now, out of 90 people who have voted, 90% want us to cover Crown Jewel. So I would say it's safe to say we're going to do Crown Jewel on Friday. I'll watch it and then I'll review it. JD won't be available. I don't know if Jake will be available or not, but I will for sure be doing a full review and I'll be doing a full live stream on Friday for the show. So that's out of the way. So yeah, I understand what they had to do. So those were the main things that I just kind of wanted to get to right off the bat. So this was in Uniondale / Long Island, New York at the Nassau Coliseum. The show started with, as always, WWE always has really good packages and promos. They always do really good. Like I already said, the set was really awesome. Nia Strauss starts off the show doing a guitar riff. Lillian Garcia was a ring announcer tonight. I love Lillian. Thank you, Lillian, for being there. So for the start of the show, we get probably what was the biggest pop of the entire night when Trish Stratus came out to the ring. I know. Her and Lita against Mickie James and Alicia Fox, the Jolly Green Giant, with Alexa Bliss in their corner. You saw her on Raw. She was like 7,000 feet tall.
Well, yeah, she is 7,000 feet tall.
Holy crap. Alexa Bliss talked trash. Mickie and Trish get in the ring, and that place came unglued. And, oh my God, did we hit a time machine, or is Trish Stratus just still seriously that good?
I've got some issues with the match.
Oh, by all means.
The match is going on now.
This is actually the lowest ranked match of the night for me.
Really? Okay.
And that was because both Trish and Lita were taking way too much time to set up certain things. Like, for instance, when they tried to do the, Trish dropped down to her hands and knees, and Lita was supposed to run off her back. She stood there for like a 45 seconds before she actually took off running to do the move. And then you had Trish waiting in the ring to help Lita with the Rana towards the end of that match, which was like, you could literally see her waiting there for her to come in. And then you have when Trish went to do the Stratus faction, you literally see like Mickie James like placing, like priming herself to lift Trish and everything. Like, the timing on that match was just, and this is from a wrestler's perspective, the timing on that match was horrible. Like, they were all out of sync. They were not working well together. Like, the best parts of that match were when Trish and Mickie got to work each other there for a little bit. That was that was the best part of the match. But I mean, altogether, like, to me, like, out of 5, I gave it like a 1.5, like, out of 5.
I'm not at all going to argue with you. I've been saying that, to me, I don't think Lita's anything where she used to be. She is a lot slower. She's not moving as well as she used to. She's not in her 20s anymore. And I agree. Trish, that's why I opened with Trish looked good. Trish and Mickie working together looked good. I was surprised with her. The match itself, not so much. This was JD's go-to match for the show. This is the match he said everyone needed to watch.
And I didn't get to watch it.
No, because he wasn't here.
I'm still trying to figure out what was the whole black and gold between the two.
It's just ring attire. Just ring attire. He's so confused. Why were they wearing black and gold? What was the purpose? Like, there had to be some deeper meaning to them wearing black and gold. So it's actually on right now, and I can see where the crowd's reacting to a Trish and Mickie. But I do agree. I'm looking at now that you've said that, I can see where you're talking about, where they're just like interacting or pointing, they're really slow, like taking their moment for every little thing.
Yeah.
But watching Trish, I really do think Trish could do a lot more individually with the company. She could probably go on a full-on run again if she wanted to. I mean, she's probably in the best shape she's ever been in. Holy crap. So, go ahead, JD. What you did see of the match.
Which wasn't much.
Because he was too busy kissing somebody.
He was kissing the grandma today.
That's not funny.
Oh, yes, it is.
That's not funny. Thank you.
Go ahead, JD.
I'm not the one that's into kissing old women.
I'm not ashamed to say that.
JD, young, old, I don't discriminate.
Right. You're married. You can't go around kissing anybody.
I can kiss whoever I want. I'll kiss you, JD. You want me to?
On that note, I'll be right back.
What is this in the review? And he just walks off. Like, I gotta go. I gotta go do something. Okay, so yeah, you had a Bellows promo where they talked about freaking Ronda Rousey again. Then we got into the Battle Royal, and I don't know how you felt about this Battle Royal. So I'm gonna let you lead off.
Let me see. Let me get my notes
I don't like the finish. I don't like the finish.
Let's see. I thought that the Iconics entrance was good. I kind of liked them, healing it up a lot and getting their gimmick over again. The legends that were awesome. Seeing Molly Holly, who's still beautiful, out there doing what she can do, and Alundra Blaze, awesome.
He didn't know Medusa was the same person as Alundra Blaze.
Well, that's his own fault.
Yes, I did. I just had it mixed up on where she had the characters at.
I was. I'm glad that it wasn't like Carmella or somebody like that won. I am glad that it was Nia Jax more than one of them. I kind of would have hoped it would have been Ember Moon.
Yeah.
That's who I was hoping was going to win, but Nia will be a good one too. So, I like both those. I think ranking it, I gave it a 3 out of 5. Mostly because I would have liked to have seen the legends been in there just a little bit longer. Most of them actually got taken out towards the beginning.
I was making that point.
Ivory was the only one that really stayed in there long. But that was cool. Her whole dance thing with Carmella was kind of funny.
Oh my gosh. It's like, here comes the dance break, and here comes Ivory, and she just starts getting down. I'm like, oh. Oh, dear God.
The one thing I can say is I would have liked to have seen Victoria come back for it.
God, yes.
Because she can still go, and it would have been awesome to see her in the ring again. I also would have loved to have seen, they had Alundra, but it would have been awesome to have seen, some of the other old school women in there. Which I do have to say, big props to Beth Phoenix for her Bull Nakano shirt.
Yes.
That was awesome.
I pointed that out. I was like, oh, I love her shirt.
I told Shannon, I said, I want that shirt. I want that Bull Nakano shirt. That shirt's awesome.
Yeah, I agree with you on that. Well, because, they kept building it as, past and the present meets the future, except there really was no, future stars in this match. They only did 20 women. Honestly, they probably could have pulled some people up from NXT as well and put them in this match if this was supposed to be for all the women in the company.
Well, they did have a couple of the NXT girls.
Well, I have the list of everybody that was on the card that was in this match. You had Naomi from SmackDown, you had Michelle McCool, Sonya Deville from SmackDown, Alundra Blaze, Carmella from SmackDown, Zelina Vega from SmackDown, Kelly, Tamina from Raw, Ember Moon from Raw, Lana from SmackDown, Maria Kanellis, who I think they're on Raw now. I don't know. Mandy Rose from SmackDown, Molly Holly, Dana Brooke from Raw, Nia Jax from Raw, Ivory, Asuka from SmackDown, Tori Wilson, and then SmackDown's Iconics. There was no one from NXT in this match. And I think this would have been...
I thought you were missing somebody in there.
No, that was all 20. That's all 20 of them.
But, yeah, I mean, it I guess they may not have... But, I mean, they did... The thing is, they did feature... Sorry, brain fart. I would have actually liked to have seen them maybe have some of the Mae Young Classic performers.
Yeah, I mentioned that in my... I mentioned that in my preview and predictions. I think they deserve at least something for being in that tournament.
It would have been cool.
If not, at least Mako.
Yeah.
At least Mako should have been in this. Maybe the other semifinalists could have been in, maybe in the quarterfinalists. Because I really would have liked to have seen Rhea Ripley in this match. I think she would have looked good. and would have featured her. It's like you already got her for a little bit. She's at the show. Throw her in the match. Meiko Satomura, I would have loved to have seen her in it. Unfortunately, Tegan was injured, so she couldn't have been in it. But there was, I agree with you. They could have threw some of them in it even. Or brought some of the NXT UK girls. Like, this could have been a big battle royal to feature younger talent. You know, they don't have to win. I agree with you having a bigger name when winning it, but at least so they could feature and get some shine and intermingle with the legends. It's something. Right. Give them that platform. Because they've worked hard, too, this entire year. So,
I mean, I will say this. This was their first all-women's pay-per-view. So, hopefully, next year when they do, because I'm sure this is going to be a yearly thing.
Oh,
so,
yeah.
hopefully next year when they do Evolution or whatever they call it, they will take that into consideration and actually have some more of the younger stars come into it. Because, that I like what they did with the Battle Royal. I feel like there could have been more people.
Mm-hmm.
They had only had 20 in there. I feel like they could have done at least another 10.
Easily.
But yeah, I mean, other than that, like I said, it was a decent match. Like I said, I gave it a 3 out of 5. Because everybody that was in the match, worked their butts off. It wasn't. It felt like a real battle royal. Like, sometimes when you get and this is not a knock against women's wrestling and stuff, but sometimes when you get the women wrestlers in there and they do the battle royal, there's a lot of screw ups with them trying to get the people over the ropes and stuff like that. So it was nice to see them have fluid, tosses and stuff like that, and I thought they did well. Like, for it being a battle royal, they did well.
Yeah, and not just in this match, but you can honestly say in all the matches, it almost like they did kind of let the handcuffs off, maybe with the exception of just one match, which we'll get to shortly. But in this match, it was nice. I did like who I guess you could say was the Final Four until you realized Zelina Vega was still in it. But Tamina, Nia, Ember, and Asuka. You got the Asuka-Ember showdown that you wanted to see.
Right.
You got the NXT chants and everything.
Like, Asuka and Ember popped the crowd hardcore. That was awesome. Like,
yes, they did.
Which kind of tells you that maybe that they need to set something up like that for maybe WrestleMania or...
Oh, yeah. Interpromotional.
Yeah.
You forgot to point out that you made a point that you didn't count all of them as legends, that they were calling legends.
Well, no, I would not call Kelly a legend. I wouldn't.
Kelly. She's so nice, they named her twice, to quote Jerry the King Lawler.
To that, Jake, you count all of them that's the past that have retired and came back for this match? Legends, like WWE has been calling them?
To an extent, yes. But if we're going this by WWE terminology, anybody that's done something for the company in the past and retires or is no longer wrestling, they consider a quote-unquote legend. Now, mind you, if we're going by, like, actual definition of legend, then I would say, like, the legends would have been, like, Molly Holly, Alundra Blaze, Beth Phoenix, who was doing the announcing, Ivory, the ones that actually, the women wrestlers. Like, I don't consider the ones that were in the Diva era legends personally.
Nope, neither do I.
They were more, good looking than wrestling talent. That's what they were there for.
There were very few in that era who you could actually look at and say they could wrestle. Very few.
But I mean, to the same extent, you have people like Trish Stratus, who started out as being just a pretty face and couldn't wrestle a lick, and then worked her butt off to become a good wrestler. I would consider a legend.
That's fair. Yeah, I agree. And that's kind of where I was at with this. And I was telling him, like, that's why I said I didn't look at Kelly Kelly as a legend, because Kelly Kelly was there because she was a pretty face. That's why that's how they started her. She was not a great wrestler at all. She was sloppy and clunky in the ring to me. Despite my being a younger 20-year-old into my teens at the time, I still kind of cared about the wrestling. That's why I liked Beth Phoenix. Even Michelle McCool was good, but I wouldn't say she's on par with the women we have now in the ring. And she's in the spot she was at for this show because of who her husband is. But she's a legend in her own right with Lay Cool. But I would have rather swapped her out for Layla, if I was to be honest.
Lay Shell.
But Nia Jax, she won. It came down to her and Ember Moon. I was not buying the whole Tamina-Nia conflict. I just wasn't buying it. I didn't care. So I really wanted to see Ember win it because Ember needed this victory way more than Nia needed, because we've already seen her versus Ronda. We're getting it again. I guess, fine, whatever. Probably, I don't know, whenever the whole Ronda Bella thing ends, because as Nikki said, it's not over yet. Oh, great. So we get this some more. Awesome. So, yeah, Nia won. I'm not against it. But then they're talking about, oh, this is so historic. Well, really, though, what's historic about her winning a battle royal?
None.
There's nothing historic about it. Is it kind of elevated because of the event? Yeah, maybe. But I don't look at it as historic. So maybe I'm just a crude man-hating man person.
You He-Man woman hater.
That's right. No women. No women allowed.
My take on the match is, when you watch most battle royals and you got a big person in the match, you go after that person and try to eliminate them first, because they're going to be the one dominating the match. What does all the women do? Go everywhere else.
You know why they did that? Because Nia Jax was supposed to win. That's why.
Right.
The match was good, though. I give the match a thumbs up. Okay, so I heard this on several podcasts, several different channels. When it came to the Mae Young Classic, the biggest concern people had is they were going to handcuff these women. Now, I don't know how you feel about this match. I really, really feel, and I thought it was a great, I mean, not a great match, but it was a damn good match. But they could have done more, a lot more with these two. I didn't see none of that intensity that Io Shirai has. I know Toni Storm can do more. So I feel like this match was mishandled. The promo was great for it. He was hyped for this match. And JD's not big on the NXT stuff. But he was hyped about this. So, and he was all about Io Shirai watching that stuff. And then he didn't get to see none of the actual stuff she's been doing in the tournament.
Right.
So,
I do think that they were probably told not to go all out because they didn't want them to outshine the main event matches, basically.
Which they easily could have done.
Right. That's why I said, like this match or the NXT women's title match should have been main, or those should have been the last two matches, because to me they were the ones that you could have had them go all out and really left the show like with people walking out going, holy crap, I mean, my notes on the match were, it was a great match all around, especially starting out. The German suplex on the apron, ouch.
Yes, stick bump.
Just ouch. Tony winning was awesome. I liked the falsies that they did going up to it, so that really worked out in their favor. I actually gave that one a 4 out of 5. Like I said, because to me, you could tell they were hungry. Like, when they got out in that ring, it wasn't just doing the same stuff over and over, or just calling it in. They were hungry to show people what they could do. I mean, you got Tony, who's coming in from NXT UK, which I guarantee she's going to be tearing it up on there. You got Io, who was just, she's signed to NXT now, or just recently signed to NXT. So she'll be, doing stuff with NXT, which would be awesome to see her versus Kairi Sane. I think that'd be some awesome matches. So, yeah, I think they did good with that match. That's why I said 4 out of 5 in my book. I really think that they can definitely take these girls and do more with them in the future.
You can go ahead, JD. You can go ahead and get your stuff, and then I'll go ahead and give my opinion.
What match around?
Mae Young Classic final.
I don't know anything about it. I haven't watched it.
You watched it with me.
Oh, the match tonight?
Yeah. What the heck? Where were you?
Getting people to watch.
Oh my goodness. Go ahead.
I was promoting. It was a great match. I told him that this was the match I wanted to watch the match before. Shut up. They actually gave it to each other. They actually showed that they actually had any talent. Something I've been waiting to watch for a while to see, because a lot of the ones that they show right now need more training. Those two look like they're ready for the big time.
Given the time that they were given, 10 minutes and some change, it was what you would call a fantastic match. Like you said, given the time. The chain wrestling at the beginning was really awesome. Io was so fluid, flying through the air, transitioning into moves. Tony was really good. Both took some really good bumps. Toni Storm is going to be a megastar. If not with WWE, with somebody, she's going to be a megastar. I don't know if they have her on a full-time contract, because I know she's still wrestling some other indie shows. And I'm sure you'll agree with me, she's going to be huge. So will Io. Io's going to be huge in WWE. But my fear is Io's going to be booked like they're booking Asuka. That she'll be big at NXT, but once she hits the main, she's going to be just kind of squandered.
Flavor them up for a while and then pushed over to the side. Yeah,
basically. I like how you said how they built to the finish. There was not a bunch of false finishers. Hit the finisher, into match. I like that they did other things to make you think the match was going to be over. But I did like the ending.
Go ahead.
You what?
Go ahead.
I like the ending with Tony, put her knees up when she went for that moonsault. Dude, and then she hit her with that second Storm Zero and then got the win. It was a good build-up. And it was a slow burn, slowly got you there. And it was a good story. It was a good story.
Dude, watch it again. She didn't put knees up. She put boots up. Like, she had her feet straight up whenever she came down.
Was it really?
Yeah.
Holy crap.
I was like, ooh,
damn. I don't know if you noticed, but you could tell the difference between when the main roster people were producing these matches versus when the NXT producers were kind of going through with these matches. You could tell the difference with the NXT title match and this match versus all the other matches. Not to say all of them, they weren't all bad matches. I don't think there was really a bad match on this card. But I was super proud to see what Tony and her did. And like you said, they were hungry, but you could also read in their faces they were also super nervous.
Mm-hmm.
I do also have to throw out a props to Sarah Del Rey, who brought the flowers out and everything for this as well. She's actually one of the trainers at NXT, or at the Performance Center. I was when I saw her come out, I was actually thinking, it would have been awesome to actually have her in the Battle Royal as well, just because what she's done on the Indies and everything. But unfortunately, they didn't have her wrestle.
Yeah, they did give her props even during the show. Her and who's the other one? There's two of them. Sarah was one of them, and there's another one that they gave big props to as far as building the talent and getting to where they were. Because if it wasn't for, especially Sarah, like you said, Charlotte, Becky, Bayley, and Sasha, you wouldn't have had the whole horsewomen thing. They wouldn't have really got started. I think she was one of the producers for the first takeover match with Bayley and Sasha, too.
Mm-hmm.
And that, we know that's like match of the last 5 years. Men or women, to me.
Throws me back to a thing that he was saying. He doesn't know who she is, but she thinks that she's a trainer on NXT. The woman at the end of the match that was holding the flowers?
That's Sarah Del Rey.
That's Sarah Del Rey.
Yeah,
she's
he told me what. I couldn't remember her name.
Me promoting again. I'm lost.
They actually called her by her real name, but her wrestling name was Sarah Del Rey. And I mean, if you want to see one of the top female wrestlers ever, like, go check out some of her indie stuff before she started training at the Performance Center. Like, there's a reason why they have her training the superstars of tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
Because, like, she was legit.
I agree. Side note, because I'm looking over at the TV and the Battle Royal is going, is it just me, or does Tori Wilson look like she's 21 and not 41?
Yeah. I believe she actually lives in the Fountain of Youth. So
right.
But hell, look at Molly Holly.
Looking at her.
Look at Molly Holly.
Like,
Molly Holly looks exactly the same she does now as she did 20 years ago.
And no offense to anyone who's watching this, but Maria Kanellis, that ass. Golly! For 5 months ago, she had a baby. She looks fantastic. So, just side notes from the Battle Royal that I just now thought of because I was looking at the TV. Anything else you want to talk about with the Mae Young Classic finals?
That's it.
Okay. Now to a match I really couldn't give a fuck about because I've seen it about 1,000 times this year. Just interchange any other women's wrestler and with Natalya. Riot Squad versus Sasha and Bayley. You two can talk about this match. I have nothing to say.
I'll start. I gave it a 3 out of 5, mostly for the Riot Squad. My notes are that it's a good job by the Riot Squad. I was glad that they were doing consistent tags in and out, keeping the heel heat on by constantly working over the person and keeping a fresh person in there. The negatives, or at least one of the negatives that I saw, was the screwed up tope by Sasha when she was trying to dive over the top ropes and basically set down on the apron, and they had to grab her to throw her into the rail, which, again, she's done that quite a few times, and it's not getting any better. Another thing that I thought was done well by the Riot Squad was good blind tags, where the tagging of the shoulder when they go to do something. And
especially there at the end.
Yeah, so they were able to keep the fast pace up in that, which was nice. I know JD has issues with some of the Riot Squad people.
No, just Ruby. Just Ruby.
Riot.
Ruby Wyatt wasn't selling like she should have been.
Well, I mean, she was. You have to realize.
Oh, she was?
Yes. Watch her again. Watch Ruby selling again.
I was watching the whole thing very closely.
But how closely? No.
She wasn't selling to Bayley. She wasn't selling to Bayley, but she was selling to the other two. Bayley can throw the kitchen sink at her, and she would have got back up.
Well, yes, but when she was in there with Bayley, she was, again, they were doing quick tags in and out, so she was fresh. You're not going to sell to somebody.
Not at this time. This time she wasn't tagging out. This time she was getting kicked. She was getting slammed in the turnbuckle. She was getting a knee to the face and quickly taken back over. And Bayley was like a little kid slapping her around.
She wasn't. Though. Yeah.
Bayley was selling. She wasn't.
Well, Bayley has a tendency to oversell everything. I mean,
but when it was one of the other two, she wouldn't do that.
You need to watch it again, JD.
No, I don't need to watch it again. It was horrible.
It's the Charlotte syndrome.
It's not the Charlotte syndrome. Charlotte sucks, point blank. Should have never stepped in the ring. Period.
Trust me, as somebody that, again, has an insight into the workings of the business, she was selling how she needed to sell. Like I said, yes, Bayley has a tendency to oversell. You know, Ruby her selling is a little different.
Ruby got kneed in the face and slammed in the turnbuckle and got immediately right back up, just like Charlotte. And then she got slammed back into the turnbuckle on her nose and immediately got back up.
JD, just trust me when I say she was selling correctly.
If I would have done that to you, you would have told me that I'm going to be taken out of the show for a little while and have more training done.
No.
Yeah.
If you sold like Ruby, you'd have been fine.
No.
So, anyways, I will give a small take on this match. I didn't hate this match because of the match of itself. It's just, I've seen this so many times. If it wasn't the Riot Squad, it was whatever Paige's group was called when they were together. I've seen a lot of these 6-woman tags throughout the year, and I don't think Bayley and Sasha need to be in another 6-woman tag. I really thought they deserved better. So I honestly didn't care just because of the context of the match and then how many times I've seen it. The match wasn't bad. You were right. It was a good match. But the finish was nice. Sasha, stop trying to do the high-flying shit. You just also came off of having post-concussion syndrome. She had post-concussion syndrome.
Spit it out, Junior.
Yeah. So
he's not Junior. You're Junior.
Whoa. That's Junior, not me. No.
But I did like her frog splash at the end. That's my whole take on the match.
Well, yeah, it's an Eddie frog splash. Of course you liked it. For tribute.
But we were trying to figure out who was Bayley paying homage to.
I forgot all about the fact that she likes Macho Man, and when Beth said something about they all three paid homage to their 3 favorite wrestlers, I was sitting there going, who did she pay homage to? And he's like, I don't know, because who did you say was hers?
Well, Sasha was Eddie Guerrero.
No, not Sasha.
I thought because she had that little thing painted on the side of her face, I thought it was like a Rico thing. That's what I thought.
That's funny.
That was the most I could come up with.
One other thing that I liked about the Riot Squad was the entrance. I'm a big horror movie fan, so
yes.
Portraying the 3 horror movies, and I have to this almost makes me want to give them a half a point. Is when Ruby popped Liv's little red balloon. That was hilarious. I love that part.
Oh yeah, I mean I like the entrance. That's probably my favorite part about everything. So I didn't get Leatherface though from Sarah. So
well, if you look, she had the apron on when she first came out.
Okay, yeah, I didn't. Wasn't really.
I said something about the apron.
Yeah,
if you look at when it comes on again, look at Sarah's gear. It actually looks like the skin sewn together.
Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome then. So moving on to what Jake here says should have been the actual main event of the show, the NXT Women's Championship match. First things first, I was shocked they gave that belt back to Shanna. I thought she was going to go to the main roster after this.
I still hope that she comes up to face Rousey eventually.
That would be flipping awesome. I think that'd be the most legit match Ronda could have, and I think they'd work great together.
Oh, it'd be stiff. It's going to be a stiff match, I guarantee it.
Yeah, they're like, we can take it. Don't worry. Just give us some gloves. We'll be fine. So, yeah, obviously, when they got out there, you had the NXT chance to start this match off. Shayna Baszler. I've never seen her look as vicious as she did in this match with the way she was contorting Kyrie's arm and the way she was making it look realistic. It looked painful several times. And Kyrie sold it like nothing else. Like even when she was on the offense, she kept grabbing at her arm, shaking it like she was trying to get blood flow and everything. There was a point Kyrie reversed something and she did that DDT, and it looked like Shayna's head actually hit the mat.
Right.
And then, she was smart, rolled. So I like the ring psychology of, oh, she's about to go up for the that crazy elbow. Let me roll out, get out of the ring, and save myself. So I like the story. Go ahead.
And the one thing that I like, and this goes to, protecting your finish, she never actually got to try to throw that elbow.
Yeah, the insane elbow. I don't know why I called it crazy. Yeah, the insane elbow.
She went up for a total of 4 times, but every time got stopped somehow.
Mm-hmm.
So that protects that elbow as still being a vicious finish.
I agree.
So to me that's awesome. The strikes between those two were snug. I'm gonna say snug.
Just a tad.
And
just a tad.
which was awesome, but I mean you could tell that they were laying them in like, ouch.
But again, it goes to, like you said, with the Mae Young Classic. You could see these two were trying to put on the absolute best match they could. They took this serious, and you could see, again, hungry. I think that's a good word to use. It was hungry again.
And then the going for the submission and having Kyrie roll back to start the pin. 1-2, let it up, go again, and then her finally getting that submission after the whole schmoz with the other 2 horsewomen. Like that to me was a perfect finish. Like this match was like 4.5 out of 5 in my book, because timing was on point. Like everything was smooth. It was going. The transitions between them having heat and selling were smooth. They were selling the whole time. Like this, in my opinion, was match of the night. Like bar none.
Agreed. 100%.
Again, like I said, to me, which, I mean, if you go by like the philosophy of like Al Snow, your main events are your ones that sell the tickets, which is going to be Becky Lynch, and it's going to be Charlotte, and it's going to be Ronda Rousey. So yeah, those are your main events. But to me, like wrestler wise and wrestling fan wise, this was the main event.
I may not be a wrestler and never have stepped in a wrestling ring, even though I'd love to, but I am 1,000% on board with you. This match, it just, from the story to the selling to everything in this match came together, and the way they were able not only to protect Kyrie's finisher and be able to protect Shayna's finisher, they were able to protect them, especially there at the end when you had Jessamine Duke and Shafir actually get involved in the match. Really helped in protecting Kyrie. So there will probably be a rematch, probably at War Games in about 3 weeks or so. I loved this match. This was, for me, was like you. This was match of the night. I would give this 5 out of 5. If you were to find anything flawed, it would be nitpicking. So, JD, NXT Women's Championship. Your first encounter with Shayna Baszler.
She's a beast.
Yeah, she is.
They were both not what I was expecting to watch.
Real quick, before you get going, to Ronnie S., who just subbed to the channel. Thank you, Ronnie, for joining the Yo Bro Nation. I just saw that you popped up in the chat. Thank you, my good man, and welcome to the nation.
Of domination. Doom, doom.
Well, that's my thing. I don't look at this as subscribers. Anyone who's subbed to our channel is a family. We are a nation of people. Doesn't matter what race, color, or creed you have, you are part of our nation. Even this doofus, the bandit himself. He's the ringleader.
Bandit.
You can join us on Twitter too, Ronnie.
No.
Which the Kissing Bandit shirts are still available on?
Yes, they are. Team Public, baby.
Oh, your thumbnail? Your fingernail? Is that what that is? I thought it was T-Public's, not your fingernail.
Going to be promoted all week. And soon to come, Charlotte Reigns, man. Charlotte Reigns. That's probably going to sell some money. That's going to sell. So anyways, go ahead, Jenny. You can finish what you were saying.
You guys just lost half of our viewers.
Go ahead and finish.
What I was saying is I wasn't expecting when I saw these two. Strong style, mixed martial arts and stuff. It was actually a really good match. I wasn't bored. I liked what I saw.
And JD, now you can see why I say that Shayna needs to be the one that comes up and fights Ronda Rousey, because that's going to be.
I'd rather see those two than Charlotte.
When those two go after each other, it's going to be vicious.
They're horrible.
I don't know what he's talking about. Yeah.
I said I'd rather watch that.
I heard what you said. Yes, exactly. I'm all for that. Because how long can you have a Nikki Bella doing a 15-minute match with Ronda Rousey and it still seemed believable? I've seen a lot of tweets tonight about people giving up on Ronda because she should be in there destroying these women, and they're giving you 15-minute matches with Alexa Bliss and Nikki Bella, trying to make you feel like it's realistic enough for one of those two to do what they did. Well, I just felt that through the couch.
Did he just bust butt?
Yes, he did. I felt it in the couch. God. Oh, my goodness. Ronnie, no offense, man. Nikki does not deserve the strap.
What?
Sorry, Ronnie. Love you, man. No, she doesn't. No, she doesn't. But hey, if that's how you feel and you're a Nikki Bella fan and you're part of that Bella Nation or Bella Army or whatever it is, congratulations, man. I will not discard you and talk crap about you for it today. So,
any other day, maybe.
Yeah, maybe any other day. No, hey, I don't hate on Roman Reigns lovers. I don't hate on people who like the Bellas because it's your taste. And I have my own taste.
He's going to put the hold on hating on Roman right now because of the situation.
No, I wasn't hating on him before that. Even after SummerSlam, I said, if you like Roman, then you're welcome to like Roman.
Hey, no doing the Rock impersonations.
He's just kind of like, huh?
Yeah, okay. I heard him. I heard Jake do the whole.
So, to what was my main event for the show, back to that last woman standing match.
We have another subscriber.
Another one? What are you talking about? Jake Capone, does anyone have a question? Nikki was dominant tonight. You're right, Ronnie. He's the general of the Bella Army. Awesome, dude. Nikki, they did have Nikki really dominate the match tonight. They did. And we'll hit on it a little bit more. But now that you've had a chance to really calculate what you're thinking, JD, in a objective point of view, Becky versus Charlotte. I'm proud of them. He's proud of them. My biggest thing with that match, I want them to move on from Charlotte versus Becky. It's time to move on to something else.
To what he doesn't know or picked up on his phone, Rebecca Daly for subscribing to the show.
Yeah, it's not in my chat yet.
Yeah. And for the match, wow yourself. Okay.
Sorry, I'm messaging Ronnie.
Everybody knows how I feel about Charlotte. She's horrible. They need to do better for Becky Lynch. Becky Lynch is a very talented wrestler. She was their first pick. Treat her like a heel just because they want to throw out Charlotte and choke us with Charlotte. And she wants the spotlight, and she should. She has all right to be the spotlight. She's the champion, for Pete's sake. She's being shadowed, and that's wrong. Nobody cares for Charlotte. Charlotte's horrible. Yesterday's news, she needs to go home.
Okay.
And for her to come out to the match within 3 to 4 minutes and act like you've been in the ring for an hour and a half, that's stupid. That's not how you wrestle a match.
So I have a question for whoever's viewing us right now. You know, with what JD says and what Zach says about they need to do something new with Becky, who do the viewers right now feel should be the next person to face Becky for the title?
That's a good question. Ronnie brought up a good point. He says, this was a great match. Looks like Becky might turn face after what Cole said. So he's thinking they're going to do an actual face turn again with Becky now that she's done with Charlotte. I'm not sure what Cole said, but I mean, was she ever really a heel as far as like crowd reaction anyways?
She's kind of the anti-hero right now. She's kind of like
the Austin
female Stone Cold, you know?
Yeah, Stone Cold Becky Lynch, man. Freaking love Stone Cold Becky Lynch. But yeah, Ronnie, I totally agree with you. Hopefully that's actually true, because they're not gonna boo her. That you're just not gonna get the crowd to boo her unless she like kills a person on television. Like even then, they might cheer her. At this point, something that also bothered me is when she tried leaving the ring and tried leaving the area, taking off the belt. The whole time, Becky was so confident in her ability to beat Charlotte. And then over the last month or so, it's been like complete opposite. Like, oh my God, I can't win this. What do I do? There's not Becky Lynch. But the match to me was fantastic. It was a fantastic match. And I'm trying to figure my words here. Their use of the weapons and their like you said, taking the bumps, the harder bumps, like that bump at the end. JD's response was, "Oh, she deserved it. Like she deserved to get hurt because of how they booked her. It's Charlotte's fault, I guess. So she deserved to get hurt if she took that bump really hard." That's what JD basically told me. On a live stream of all things. Like, oh, I was like, even you have to admit, that was a rough bump. Yeah, well, she deserves it. I'm like, dude, don't promote women being hurt. Like, I'm not a fan of some people, but I won't wish them to be injured. Like, come on, JD.
That wasn't wishing. That was saying she deserved it.
He's like, look at me, guys, like, what? But that was a sick bump with that table spot at the end. And she landed on those shoulders. I'm sure she's okay, but because she was out there at the end hugging people. So you noticed who was not out there at the end of the show? Becky was not out there.
It's because Becky said, "Deuces, I'm out."
She's like, I got my belt. Fuck y'all. Let's see. Oh. Okay, I got some responses. Ronnie S. Becky 316. Hell yeah. Carmella is a name that I'm seeing.
Yeah, Carmella's been done.
Carmella's been done. Waiting for some more responses. So yeah, I got Carmella so far. the trash talking, moon walking, whatever it is that she says. Speaking of big pops, Carmella had a huge pop tonight.
Well, I mean, technically, it was kind of hometown area.
Yeah, that is true. I'm getting to the finals for the classic. Man, that was such a good tournament. I told JD he needs to watch that tournament. Go back and rewatch it. So, yeah, there's not much more to cover on Becky and Charlotte. I think we pretty much covered that pretty good at the beginning of the video. Unless you have anything else you want to go in on that. Maybe something you've thought of or something. No? All right. How about you, JD?
How they were called men by Michael Cole.
How what?
They were called men.
Oh, I guess someone was called men. Okay.
The ladies were called men by Michael Cole, and then he corrects it real fast and says women.
Well,
and then Beth said something about
slip,
that.
JD. He's used to saying,
men.
That's why I said there should have been a woman there.
There was two.
In the middle chair. Michael Cole should not have been in there. That's a big no-no.
I did think of something that I do want to bring up about this match. And it's not just this match. It's been Charlotte matches in general. It is time for her to stop doing that damn moonsault. She's never on target. She's lucky she hasn't killed herself a few times. And in this, she overshot, which totally screwed up the table spot. I mean, unless it was intentional, which I doubt. I think it's time for Charlotte to not do that moonsault anymore. I know JD agrees. He thinks she should just die and fall off the face of the earth. But what says you, sir, the bearded one?
I agree. I don't think that... well, not so much that she shouldn't do it, but if she's gonna do it, she should perfect it. You have to look at when look at whenever Billy Kidman first came into WWE. They wouldn't let him do the shooting star press because
someone talented.
He was hurting people with it because he was loose with it. He wasn't flowing with it, so they actually didn't want anybody doing it. Then you have somebody like Bourne come in.
Yes, I was thinking about him.
Who can do the shooting star press, and it's on point every time because he perfected it. To me, that needs to be the same way. That's just like with old girls dive over the top ropes.
Oh, shot Sasha?
Yeah. If you can't do it without
putting
yourself or the other person in danger, don't do it.
I would like to have them kept Evan Bourne. He was a really talented wrestler, and I think they could have done something with him.
He had issues, though. Ronnie says she looks like a drunk guy at the bar when she does it.
She's
I
drunk
would actually
the whole time.
Just to put this out there, I would actually like to see a drunk guy at a bar do a moonsault. That would be awesome.
See how far he gets. Oh my gosh. Yeah. So we'll jump back into.
We'll put it this way: I'll put a cowboy hat and a mustache on it, and there you go.
Kissing Bandit without his disguise.
Yes, and the Lone Ranger.
I wasn't talking about me. I was talking about Charlotte. Weirdos.
So, real quick, yeah, the main event happened. Ronda Rousey won. They kind of screwed up there towards the finish when she was supposed to get them both on her shoulders. You could see Brie had to put herself up there. So, I don't know. I guess it's not a big deal.
That was halfway through the match.
That was towards the end.
That was halfway.
That's like the last 5 minutes or so.
No, that was halfway.
Well, either way, she screwed up. It wasn't perfect. So, I mean.
And then he did a whoops that he thought one of the other twin was the one that got thrown on the table.
Well, they're twins. I can't tell the difference. I ain't trying to look at them like that.
You can tell the difference.
Oh, yeah, Evan Bourne, he's in Impact now. So if you want to watch him, just go find Pop TV and watch it. Every Wednesday night at 10 p.m. now.
He's in TNA?
Impact. They're not TNA no more. Real quick, I know this has nothing to do with it. Did you see any of the coverage from Bound for Glory?
No, not yet.
Did you hear about the Austin Aries thing at the end where he just basically...
I did see that.
You want to talk about no selling?
Well, yeah. I will keep my comments to myself, just in the event that I may or may not work shows with him.
You don't want to get him all mad. I understand. However, I will not, because Mr. Aries, I will never work with you. So in the event I do interview, I will bring this back up personally. Be more professional, Austin. Be more professional. I know you've been called a little bit of a dick sometimes backstage, you and your bananas, okay? Be more professional about things. I don't know what happened, what made him feel this way, but still, you're there at a show. Be a little more professional. That's just how I feel.
I can tell you what happened. The minute he got pinned, his contract expired.
Oh, well, that's good. Cool. So where's he going to go now? Oh, my goodness. I don't, professionalism goes a long way. He's Austin Aries. He'll get the job no matter what he does, but. And I'm a fan of Austin Aries. I think he was very mistreated in WWE once he left NXT, but I don't know. I just feel he should have been more professional.
They have done that to a lot of their talent.
I don't know. Well, maybe it's a subject for a different time on something like a Yo Bro Nation video. So we'll see. We'll see where that comes on down the line. But time to do our shameless plugs. So, Jake, I will allow you to shamelessly plug all your stuff first. Go ahead, good sir.
Let's see. The Jake Capone on Twitter. The Jake Capone on Facebook. Basically, anything with Jake Capone is me. The TeePublic. If you go to TeePublic, you can actually find my stuff by searching Jake Capone as well. So, yeah. You can buy Kissing Bandit shirts.
TeePublic.com/Yo Bro Nation.
Yes.
I had no part of that.
Let's see. If you're an independent wrestling fan, YouTube, you can check me out on YouTube too. I'm sure Zach will probably link my YouTube and everything else underneath this in the description. So
sure, you can find YouTube.
I can find YouTube. Yeah, I can do that stuff. I can do all that stuff. I'll add it in when I edit at the end.
And you're good to go.
And he's got Twitter and Instagram, people.
Yes. You can find me on Instaham.
Instaham, man.
And Twitter.
All right, JD, what's our stuff?
Facebook, YouTube.
Obviously, we're on YouTube right now. Wait, do we have a YouTube channel?
And
No.
I have a Twitter account that I can't log into.
He doesn't know the Twitter account.
I didn't make it. He did. I didn't even want it.
Twitter, Yo Bro Gaming 1. Facebook, Yo Bro Gaming and Reviews. You can find us on Patreon at the Yo Bro Gaming and Reviews on Patreon. You can also find us at Yo Bro Nation 1 at TeePublic with your Kissing Bandit t-shirt. We also have our original Square Circle t-shirt. We also have our classic Yo Bro Nation t-shirt and a child's t-shirt. You can go get that there as well. But hey, did I mention we have a Kissing Bandit t-shirt?
Jake, I'm going to kill you.
You're famous.
And
You're
by
famous.
the way, if you buy a Kissing Bandit t-shirt, please take a picture and send it to us so that we can put it up on the Twitter, and we'll even show it up on our YouTube video, and we'll give you guys a shout out.
And no autographs.
Exactly. Sorry. So everyone who watched the previous video, get that shirt and we will shout you out.
And no autographs, no nothing. And I had no part of it. They had no permission.
Where's Ryback these days? I don't know. Shooting up roids? I don't know.
Jake had a match with him and farted in his face, and nobody's seen him since.
Yeah, he murderized him. So, again, thank you everyone who watched our live stream. Really, we do seriously appreciate it. You're all like super awesome, even those who thumbed us down for telling you no.
Ronnie says, "What is Kissing Bandit?" Well, you see, in order, Ronnie, to know what the Kissing Bandit is, you need to go back to
Yo Bro Nation episode 1.
No.
Yo Bro Nation episode 1, and you'll understand what the Kissing Bandit is. It is our good friend JD there.
Stop.
The basically he missed doing some shows with us because he was too busy kissing people.
Crystal wants an autograph, by the way. She wants an autograph. Crystal wants an autograph.
From me, from Zach.
Yeah, who do you want an autograph from? We'll give you an autograph.
No. I was kissing one person.
But
one.
Yeah. Anyway, so we designed a shirt up that's the Kissing Bandit wanted shirt, which is available at the Yo Bro Nation TeePublic.
Which I believe there's still a sale going on, ain't there?
Yeah, I believe so. And I believe that Zach is actually going to be rocking one of those shirts in the near future.
Very, very soon. As soon as it comes in the mail.
So you guys will be able to see what it looks like.
Ronnie wants an autograph too. Yeah, JD, he's the Kissing Bandit. Don't let him fool you.
Yes.
I'm going to kill you guys.
Hey, you said it. He ran with it, and I followed in tow because it was funny. So yeah, thank everybody who subscribed today. To who'd you say subscribed? Becky?
Rebecca.
I'll call you Becky.
Daly.
I'm calling you Becky. So thank you, Becky. Thank you, Ronnie. Because Ronnie and Becky kind of sounds like it goes hand in hand. So thank you guys. Really, seriously, you guys are awesome.
And Crystal.
And Crystal sub too? Well, thank you too. Get your Kissing Bandit t-shirts. They're on sale right now. The link is down in the description. Go there.
We have beat a threshold for being live. I think we've had over 20 views.
Hey, I'm sure we did. We had 200 views earlier today live. So seriously, y'all have been awesome today. Evolution. Final thoughts on Evolution. It turned out a lot better than I thought it would, considering how little effort they put into the show to get it promoted. My final score for the entirety of Evolution, I'm giving it 7.5 out of 10.
I'm going to give it 7 to 8.
Jake?
Isn't that a 7.5? JD, really? 7 to 8?
Hey, I'm giving 2. A 7 on one hand and an 8 on the other. So hush.
Oh, Lord. Anyway, I would probably say...
Don't make me throw the smack it down on you.
Solid 8 out of 10.
Solid 8? It's not bad. I mean, that's a decent score. So,
what we got going on?
There's only one Becky. And Evolution wasn't a bad show. And Ronnie says he was left wanting more. So, thank you, everyone, in the comments. Thank you, everyone who watched. I've said this 1,000 times, but I'm going to say it again because really, you guys fucking rock. So, I will see you guys for tomorrow night on Raw.
And pass the info on to your friends so we have more fans.
And
family.
Family. And I will say this. Zach will put up a poll on the Twitter. And if you guys would like me to do a no-holds-barred Q&A with Zach, not necessarily JD, because he's going to ask me.
That's what you get.
He's still on.
That's what you get.
I will put it up. Yes or no poll. I'm going to put it up tonight on Twitter. I'll leave it up till Tuesday. If y'all want to do like he said, a no-holds-barred Q&A, we will do it. Jake will reconnect, I'm sure, shortly. So one more time, y'all fucking rock, okay? Seriously, all 300 of you that we've seen today. So, Crystal, 7-8. Which one? She's asking you too. Which one? 7 or 8? He's giving it nothing. He's giving it 10.
Hey, I gave it a 7 with the left hand and an 8 with the other one. I'm 2 judges, so there you go.
Right.
Hey,
judges with 2 hands. Yo, bros. See y'all later. I'll see you guys tomorrow night for Raw. All right. Peace.